Moving on, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani's great grocery gamble comes with a big promise. 30% discounts on groceries for all New Yorkers.
But before the first cart rolls through that checkout line, the city still has a series of basic questions it still has to answer. Simple questions like, how are the discounts going to be calculated? Who pays for the grocery discount? Who absorbs losses when costs rise? Who pays the employees? Who gets the profits? The promise is big, but the math ain't mathing.
Joining us now is former Council of Economic Advisors Acting Chair Tomas Philipson. Thomas, thank you for joining us. Jackie listed off a ton of things, but there's a lot of things that are still missing, like supply chain, spoilage, shrinkage, inventory, the basic fundamentals around running a business. Has the city actually developed a business plan that you've seen?
No, not that I've seen. I mean, I'm watching this being set up by Mamdani is like having a parent watch a kid set up a lemonade stand, essentially. I mean, it's just a mess. It's an embarrassing display of the ignorance of economics, of socialists, essentially, or business in general. The first thing he wants to do is to eliminate profits in human sort of services. Newsflash, competition is the thing that eliminates profits. If you look like grocery stores in New York, they're about a 2 or 3% margin roughly. So he can't expect them to be, giving away money. But the most important thing is why are they going for public production of this as opposed to public financing? We have a SNAP program that covers about 12% of our population in the U.S., about 40 million people. They can just supplement the SNAP program if they want these ID-carrying people who are going to be eligible for this to have lower grocery prices. It's a completely backward way to generate lower prices.
Thomas, are you suggesting that the subsidy should actually just increase the SNAP benefit as opposed to fund this program? Just want to get clarification.
Yeah, because they're setting up they have the government produce essentially the services as opposed to finance the services. If they want to help people help them finance it, but have the government get out of the way of production.
I'm just perturbed by the overall plan. He eventually wants 5 of these stores, 1 in every borough. He's promising 30% lower prices. He's saying you'll save $1,000 a year on your groceries. They're saying the startup investment is roughly $70 million, but they can't even come up with a business plan to roll out the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. These people have never been in business, and now they're in charge of setting up a business they know nothing about, essentially. So, I mean, if they want to lower prices, one thing would be to lower taxes, essentially, or make it more affordable by lowering income taxes for people, essentially, or minimum wage policies that gets in the way of these grocery stores having lower prices as well. So I think it's just on display here how completely uninformed they are of how the business world works. And they're in charge of this, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this next topic. This is a good one. Unleash Prosperity. They came out with a new assessment. We're putting it up on the screen. When you hear this, it's going to blow your mind because I saw this yesterday and it blew mine. So Americans are now paying more in taxes at the state and federal and local level than they spend on their everyday necessities, Thomas. So you can see it right there, the 8.192 billion is the tax number. What we spend on our food, clothing, and housing, only 7.388 billion. So my necessities are less than what I'm paying in taxes. And yet for some reason, every year, the government is looking to us and asking for more money. We highlighted fraud, waste, and abuse a little bit earlier. When there is so much of that, so much misappropriation, this is mind-boggling.
I agree. I mean, if you're in the middle income up to the richest people, you're paying anywhere from, 25 to more than 50% of your income in taxes. And so whenever you have necessities that are less than that, you're going to be paying more in taxes than your necessities. I mean, think of it, for the richest people, or for some people, you work basically to April of the year to get your income started. As the first 3 months you work for the government. For rich people, work all the way to July, essentially, in the year to get their income. Take half of your year and just work for the government.
Right.
And the simplest way, everyone is talking about affordability. The simplest way is just not take as much money from people.
Everybody's talking about affordability, and nobody is talking, again, about government spending,
Right.
including the government. And both parties, I think, are just as guilty. Thomas, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.